Hey YouTube, it's Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, here with another Demonic Sweaters type thingy. This is going to be a video involving my Alesis Nitro mesh drum kit and my vintage Apple iBook G4 laptop. Now if I look a little bit weird or my head looks strangely out of proportion, it's because I'm using my wide angle lens on my iPhone 11 here, just so I could fit everything in the frame and you guys can see both of these items in one video shot. Now, I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. I mean, it's going to be some kind of song, but what I wanted to try out is the old version of GarageBand, which runs on this thing, which I believe is GarageBand 06, I think is what's on here. And I'm going to try doing some MIDI drums on GarageBand, as well as just record some music. Now, you may be thinking, you know, like, why would you want to do this? I don't know. Why not? I mean, the thing is with these old iBook G4s, and this is something that I've kind of wanted to touch on in videos before, but haven't had a chance to, but I might as well do that in this video. Even though these things are old, but for the purpose of recording music, if you wanted to just buy a computer to make music on, you can find these things for about 40 bucks on eBay. Like, there's literally hundreds of them on there. I think I paid $40 for mine, and it's in excellent shape. I ended up buying a new battery for it, which I think was another $30 or $40 or something like that. So total cost was $80. But, you know, even with that, you know, I didn't have to get the battery. You know, I could have just run it off the AC adapter all the time. But I kind of wanted a new battery in it. But anyway, these things, you can still produce quite a bit of music on these computers. And there's some really great software available. There's actually a website, I'll post a link to it down below, called Macintosh Garden, where you can find all kinds of old software for these old iBooks. And I have a lot of stuff on here. Right now I'm running Mac OS Tiger 10.4, and I have a version of Cubase on here, Cubase LE, which is one that I'm really familiar with because I used to use it all the time. And I recorded a huge amount of music with that particular software. I also have GarageBand, like I said before. I have Final Cut Pro, as well as iMovie and all of the Apple, you know, apps that it came with at the time. And then there's also a modern web browser, believe it or not, called 10.4fox. It's pretty slow, but if you need to get online to do something, you know, to download something, you can. I wouldn't really recommend these computers for any kind of web browsing or anything like that at all. Yes, you can do it, and I've talked about it in other videos, and I don't want to anybody, you know, freak out down below in the comments and be like, yes, you can. Like, I know you can, and I've showed how to do it in the past, you know, where you can watch YouTube and stuff like that. It's not easy, but you can do it. But if your goal is just to record music, you could get one of these, spend $40, you'd have way more options at your fingertips than you would if you tried to, you know, download or purchase new software and new computers. And some of the tools on these things are actually quite good. Like, GarageBand has some really nice sounding synths in it. A lot of good programs that you can get on these things on Macintosh Garden. Like I said, Cubase LE. Cubase LE is an excellent piece of software. It's one of the better recording softwares, you know, from back then. I mean, it was really, really good. It's still really good, even by today's standards. It's great, actually. So I think what I'm going to do is, in this video, I'm going to work with GarageBand because I want to use the GarageBand drum set and use my MIDI control from the Alesis Nitro mesh into the iBook. And I already know that it actually does work because I tested it really quickly the other day, and it worked without issue. I just plugged it in, USB, and I saw it right away, and it just worked. So that's not surprising, but it worked on my iPhone too. And it actually works on the iBook as well. And of course, you could do all of this on a much newer Mac, and you probably have far more options than you would on a 2004 iBook G4. But I'm just saying, you can if you want. These things are, you know, they're pretty cool, and I love the look of it still. And yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but we'll figure it out as we go along. All right, I've got GarageBand open here, and what I'm going to do is use my little Nano Key MIDI controller and create a couple of loops first, and then try to make something for me to play drums to. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I got some MIDI bass and some synth parts, so now I'm just gonna add some guitar parts. All right, so I've got 3 tracks recorded. I've got the digital bass, like MIDI bass, as well as a synth and some guitar. And now what I'm going to do is record drums. I think the music is good enough. So how I'm going to do this is actually I'm just running out of the USB port. And geez, my cables are such a mess down here. Where's this thing going? Okay. Luckily this cable's really long, so I don't have to bother untangling it. And I'm going to unplug my Korg MIDI controller and plug in the Alesis. And just turn it on here. And pardon the background noise because I'm not turning off the AC, it's just really hot. And so GarageBand tells me the number of MIDI inputs have changed. That's okay. And that's good. See, it just recognizes stuff. That's what's so great about GarageBand and, well, just Macs in general. They just tend to work. Let me zoom in a little bit there. So, okay, let's add a drum track. So we're going to click this plus sign here. And then select software instrument, because I'm going to be using the built-in sounds in GarageBand. And then here, when it pops up, we're just going to go into drum kits. And I'm just going to select the rock kit, which is a pretty basic sounding kit, but it sounds good. So I'm going to use that. And that should be all. I'm going to go ahead and record this, but what you guys are going to see is the edited together version after I record it. I'm going to synchronize the video of me playing to what actually gets recorded here into GarageBand. So here we go. Okay, so here's what the project looks like. Basically, it's just 4 tracks, and like I said, we have the muted electric bass here in track number 1. And if you guys are curious, I can show you my settings for all of these. And I'm just using the muted bass. It's just a preset. I didn't do anything to that. And if we go to the synth tones, that's just the ethereal sunrise patch. And again, total preset. I did nothing. Guitar, I use the 80s pop amp modeler, which sounds really nice, actually. I mean, I played the guitar, my Squire Mustang, you saw that. but I just plugged it directly into the audio interface over there, and used the built-in effects in GarageBand. And then finally the rock kit, and I added a little bit of compression with the compressor, not very much, and then also a little bit of reverb. And that's all I did. So as you can see, these old iBooks are totally capable of still making some cool sounds with. They're really good for something like this. You know, if you want some way to control some MIDI drums with your Alesis Nitro mesh and you don't want to spend a lot of money on something like Superior Drummer or Easy Drummer or something like that, if you have an old iBook or an old MacBook, GarageBand is just as good as a lot of those. I really love the way the cymbals sound. They're just so clear and like washy sounding in the GarageBand kits. And this is a very old version of GarageBand, and they've actually gotten much better since this. But even this, they sound really good. You know, it's different than the built-in sounds on the mesh. You know, I like the built-in sounds on the Alesis Nitro mesh, but if I want something totally different, I can use this and get some more like they have like this cleaner kind of crystal-y quality to them that I really like. And you know, like I said, you can find these old iBooks for like 40 bucks. You can download all the software that you need for free from Macintosh Garden, and they're just really fun toys, really cool to play with, and just neat to be able to do stuff on these old computers. And they're very user-friendly. GarageBand is very easy to use. So if you're wanting to get into recording, you know, and you don't have a lot of money, it's actually a fairly decent option if you can find one that works good, which there are a lot of them out there. You know, you just have to make sure it's a good seller, you know, and that they have a good reputation, and you know, read the description very thoroughly to make sure you know what you're getting. Make sure you don't get one that's messed up or anything like that, because they can be hard to find parts for and all that stuff. So, you know, get one that's in good shape, and yeah, you can record. You know, and we didn't even get into Cubase or any of that stuff. I mean, Cubase actually I like better than GarageBand, but GarageBand is cool for this. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought by posting a comment down below, and be sure to subscribe, click the like and the bell icon, and also, if you want to listen to my music, go to anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. You can download my CD, The Pan Demos, there, or you can buy it on CD. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see y'all really soon. Later.